Hey guys, Mario here. So today I was gonna start doing some maintenance to the Black Panther build, and then I remember that from time to time people ask me how can they clean the inside of the reservoirs. Let's say for example for this build it actually has a big distro plate on the side that the GPU is actually attached to it, so that's kind of difficult for me to take everything apart just to clean maybe a little stains here and there. So what I like to do with this build is actually just run water for 1 or 2 days, see if most of the maybe stains that they were there previously kind of come off. If that doesn't actually come off from the inside of the reservoir, I will recommend maybe if you can remove the reservoir from the case, add some water, maybe a little hint of soap if you have to, but try with water first, and then just shake the reservoir to see if some of those things kind of come off. Lastly, I will say open up the reservoir to try to clean it off with a wet microfiber towel. Usually most of it should just come off. So today I'm gonna show you how to actually put a reservoir back together so you don't damage either the screws or the reservoir itself. Right here I have this sample piece. So after taking all the screws out and removing the front plate, you want to remove maybe the o-ring if it's maybe has some gunk around it or something like that. Try not to use something sharp so you don't damage the o-ring. And after, let's say, removing the o-ring, if you have to clean it, again just use maybe a wet microfiber towel. Maybe just clean it gently. Try not to let's say go and stretch it, or maybe you can get damaged. Again, with the wet microfiber towel, you just maybe want to clean whatever is, if it has some stains or something. Same thing with the front plate. The reservoir all clean and everything, and it's time to put everything back together. When you're putting the o-ring back, just kind of press it into the groove. Again, don't try to stretch it. Don't go maybe trying to maybe stretch and putting it into the groove like this. If not, you might end up with something like this that has like extras on certain areas. So you kind of just want it to gently just put it all the way around with a piece of microfiber towel or cloth. You want to clean the o-ring, just or maybe any fingerprints. Don't use any drills, just use actually like a screwdriver or something similar. I like to just put all the screws by hand, a couple turns. And after you put most of the screws on top of the plate, I like to just gently snug a corner first. Try not to over tighten the corner, if not it might lift up on the other corner, and sometimes might actually lift the o-ring out of the groove, so then you might have to end up removing all the screws again just to line up the o-rings. So just go gently on one corner and maybe just a little snug on one side, then you can do the other corner, making sure that all sides are even, and just keep doing this the same with, let's say, maybe a different corner, maybe one in the middle. So when you're gonna start tightening the screws, you wanna kind of pay attention right there at the O-ring. You're gonna see it start becoming, let's say, maybe a little darker, and you can almost see it being pressed. Once the O-ring gets pressed from, let's say, from the very edge to the other edge in between the two O-ring, or between the O-ring, that's gonna be, let's say, maybe the limit where you wanna kind of stop. If you actually keep over tightening the screws, let me try to bring you maybe a little closer, let's say to this side. What happens is that if you keep on going, if you see right there that little sign, let's say, that's the first sign that's saying that maybe you are over tightening the screws. You don't want to do that. You don't want to keep making it tighter and tighter. Where you see those marks, it looks almost like a wet area. And if you actually look at the O-ring too, sometimes it looks like it's coming out of the groove. So you don't want to do that. If you see that, you just kind of want to loosen it a little bit. As soon as that little sign kind of goes off, then you know you're kind of good. Or if you see the O-ring, it's in between the lines instead of kind of coming out of the lines. So that's the signs that you want to see it when you're actually tightening the screw back together. You just want to make sure you get, you know, everything the same. Don't go too crazy with the tightening the screws, or you can actually end up damaging the top face, creating cracks around the screws. Sometimes maybe you can even damage the O-ring. You're pressing it too much. But once you have everything, let's say, tight, if you want to pressure the reservoir, I recommend to doing it to, let's see, to 0.3 bars, which, let's say, for example, it will be right at the middle. I would recommend going up to there. If you keep going past 0.3, there is a chance that it might actually start bowing the acrylic up from too much pressure, especially if you're gonna leave it overnight or something like that. It might end up actually creating stress cracks around the screws. Something similar to what Linus video did, but you don't want to do that.
And we're right on the... Whoa, I didn't even see that. That's a bum.
So once everything is good, then you can put back the reservoir together and you are good to go. Hopefully you find this video helpful. I'm gonna go back to cleaning my own computer here, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.